when men have been conditioned from a very, very young age to push down all of our emotions, to only show anger or indifference, right? You show anything else like that, you're called soft.
This is very true.
Like, and it is one of the more pernicious, toxic, awful parts of our society and our culture. And a lot of the stuff that we're seeing with the new wave of feminism and all that, a lot of it is a result of the way that we do not allow our boys to experience the full spectrum of their emotion, right?
You know, being in a relationship when the other person puts that mirror up to your face and like holds you accountable and says, this is how you're acting and this is what you're doing, and I noticed this pattern in you, I'm just like, but I thought I was good. I'm just like,
how my brain's wired.
Right.
And so when I feel like it took a while to acknowledge, like, you know what, my emotions influence my choices and my reactions a lot more than I want to admit. It's part of why I hate them, because I can't trust them, but I also had to learn to see them as alarms.
Being as though you are a young Black man in Kansas, call me ignorant, but to me, Kansas does not sound like a predominantly African American type of state. How living in Kansas, you don't want to be the stereotypical, you know, angry Black man, but then you don't want to be too overly friendly, because then it's like, what does this guy want? So how do you find your common, what is that? What is there a common ground? Are you just yourself? Has there been a struggle?
I mean, you know, just from us growing up, that I've never had a problem just being myself, right? That's always been like, for better or for worse. Like, luckily, that's never been an issue. I feel like I've got a different experience than a lot of Black men do, because like, you know, with our family being Jamaican, right? That gives us a different cultural experience growing up than a lot of Black Americans do. With being light-skinned and multiracial. Not just in Kansas, but just through my entire life, there's been an element of privilege and an element of otherism, of not being Black enough for my Black friends, not being white enough for my white friends, of being somewhere in between, but like kind of fitting in, but still being a little bit on the outside. But then also having the privilege of being light-skinned, I hate saying this. Like,
talk about it. Emotional health. How do you handle your emotions? Do you cry in the car? Do you cry in the shower? Do you cry at all? Like, as a man, like how does that look from Micah?
I mean, on crying specifically, I've never, well, until having kids, I wasn't much of a crier. Now, like, you know, you show that puppy commercial with the Sarah McLachlan song, I'm bawling like a baby. Like, I watched Coco. I ugly cried 3 times during Coco. I was like, oh, like, it's a beautiful movie. Every time it gets me. Every single time. It's a beautiful comic strip. And like at the very end, where they bring out, you know, they Charlie Brown brings out that dinky little like tree, and everyone else is like, you know, let's make his day and let's just decorate it for him when he comes in. Let me tell you, there were tears streaming down my face, and I felt like such a putz. And Molly was making fun of me. My wife, she was making fun of me. She's like, you are such, she's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, it's beautiful. She's like, I don't get it. I was like, you didn't grow up. You don't know. Like, I'm like, why am I? This is so stupid. Like, it's a children's play, but it's like, it's also a beautiful moment, right? I'm not afraid to show the spectrum of emotion to my kids in a healthy way, because